Hello, beautiful people. I hope that everyone is doing well. Welcome back to a new video. My name is Evelyn Barta, and in today's video, I will be talking about November 2022 and the energies. We have closed already October. That has been quite a challenging month, but that is always like that whenever we are approaching the eclipse season, and then November as well is continuing to be like that. So I will be talking about the astrological aspects, the energies that will be influencing the individual and then the collective as well. And I also wanted to say that my last video that I posted on YouTube was taken down the next day by YouTube because they did not like the fact that I was talking about the virus situation and then the liquid situation as well. So if you have not seen that video, I posted it on my beach shoot and I will link it down below in the description box, the video. Yeah, it is quite upsetting, and it's not the first time when they are doing that. And this time I wasn't allowed to post anything for 1 week. So yeah, censorship is something that is still going on, and I don't know in what direction is leading. But if they think that we will stop talking about the truth and we will stop talking about the damage that has been caused by whatever happened in the past almost 3 years, then they are really wrong, because people still are still continuing to talk about that. All right, so let's talk about November and what we can expect in the month of November. As I said, the eclipse season is very, very significant in October and November, so it is continuing. The energies are being felt, and I made a separate video about the two eclipses of 2022, the last two eclipses of 2022. So if you have not seen that video, please watch it, because I talk about that more in detail. So it is a soul leveling up month, the month of November, because we have Mars retrograde on the 5th of November. So right off the bat, we can see that we start with that, and that can bring some sluggish energy. So feeling sluggish, and then we can experience some burnout as well if we have been pushing too hard for things, and if we have been using a lot of masculine energy. So Mars retrograde can feel a little bit like we have to slow down and we have to reconsider how we are putting energy into things, and how much energy we are putting into things. And because the Mars is retrograde in Gemini, there's a big emphasis put on communication and how we are communicating our ideas to others. So this is the time to think about how we communicate and to communicate with integrity. And then on the 7th and the 8th of November, we have blood moon eclipse that is happening in Taurus. And as I said in my video, I talked about that. Taurus is the sign of finances, is the sign of currencies, but then also relationships as well. So that can bring some upheavals in those areas, and probably to rethink about our finances. It is the deadline event of the month, this blood moon in Taurus. It is a full moon eclipse. It is a total full moon eclipse. So it's extremely, extremely powerful. And it is setting the stage for the next 6 months, we can say. So it will be felt maybe until the end of 2022, the effect of this eclipse, but then also beginning of 2023 as well. Eclipses are signifying endings. And those powerful endings can be challenging, and we might not understand why they happened, but they also these endings are leading us to the right path, to certain areas that we have not discovered yet, and we would have not considered unless we have closed the previous doors that were leading nowhere. So it is steering themes that are related to money and relationships. And what this blood moon eclipse can bring up for review and for consideration and for healing is our sense of worthiness. To reconsider if we are worthy and which areas of our lives we are feeling like we are unworthy of things. So it can help us to push through those blockages that are related to worthiness. And I can feel that already. I can feel the effect of that, because it has brought up already certain things in my life as well that are related to worthiness. So it is encouraging us to look at our lives and to really examine those areas where we feel like we are not deserving the best things, or we are not worthy of love, we are not worthy of money, these kind of things. We are not worthy of relationships. of loving relationships, of honest relationships. And this can help us to see where that feeling of unworthiness is blocking our creative powers, and where is creating issues in our lives, why we are not getting what we want. Also, it is helping us to get clear about what is worthiness for us. What does that mean? To get clear about that, and then to see ourselves as whole and worthy and deserving of the best things. So really, like, the question is, why do I feel like I'm not worthy of this? It will help you to understand that if there's an issue in your internal system, so you are feeling out of balance, and that is bringing up some negative emotions and negative thoughts, that might be coming from the fact that you're not feeling worthy of what is in your present life. Why do I feel like an outcast? Why do I feel like I don't fit into the world? And is the issue the fact that I'm unable to be vulnerable in my intimate relationships, in my relationships with others? Am I unable to be naked in front of them? And why I'm unable to be naked, metaphorically? Why is that? What is that fear that I feel like they will discover about me? Why is that I feel like I'm not deserving financial success? Do I feel like I need to push harder in order to deserve financial success? Do I feel like I'm unlovable because I'm not productive all the time? And these kind of questions related to relationships and money and unworthiness in those areas. So it is teaching us to take back our personal power, to claim our worthiness, and to build up our self-esteem. So this is what this eclipse is also helping us. And then on the November 8th, we have Mercury Kazim. And that is an event where Mercury is aligning with the sun. And it means a new cycle of awareness, a deeper awareness as well, like opening up to a higher understanding, to a higher wisdom as well. Mental growth, mental capacity as well, because Mercury is all about the mental capacity, is all about the intellect, communication. So it's a great opportunity and possibility to gain new perspectives, to see things from a different perspective, and to see things clearly. So gaining clarity, having a sharper vision, a sharper perspective. And then also, whatever was cloudy, it can become clear. And it's very important to communicate clearly in this period of time. And you will have the possibility to communicate clearly and to communicate with integrity, because things that were hidden, truth that was covered, can get uncovered very easily. So together with the eclipse energy, because both are happening on the November 8th, it will be a heightened energy for clarity. And it can unlock some higher truth and higher wisdom as well. So the energy will be super, super powerful with the eclipse, and then also Mercury aligning with the sun. And while the sun is aligning with Mercury, it is opposing Uranus. And Uranus is the planet of surprises, of sudden changes. So it can bring some sudden energies as well, surprises, news that help us to awaken and shift our consciousness as well. However, that Uranus energy can be very strong, and we can feel like unsettled, ungrounded. So it's very important, if you feel like that around the eclipse, then because of Uranus as well and this influence of Uranus, so if you can spend time in nature to ground yourself, that will be very beneficial for your nervous system. And then we have 11/11, so November the 11th, which is almost like working as a portal. It's a very powerful number. Numerologically, it's a master number. And it indicates alignment and harmony. So being in alignment with divine harmony, it's a great period and portal of manifestation, of bringing forth the energies of our creation, whatever we want to create. And it's an opportunity also to tap into that feeling of wholeness instead of feeling this energy of scarcity. So we can replace the scarcity mindset with the abundance mindset when this portal opens. But probably I will be making some readings on my other channel, Esoterica with Evelin, so around 11/11 and about the energies at this time. So I will do probably a collective reading about that. So it's about harmony between body, mind, and soul. That alignment and that centeredness. So we can tap into that centeredness. And if we channel these energies properly, then we can feel much more balanced and centered. and just aligned with the divine consciousness around the 11th of November. So the energies will start feeling a little bit lighter after the eclipse season. And then we have on the November 16th, Venus entering Sagittarius, and that is bringing some much lighter energies compared to the Scorpio season, because Venus was in Scorpio for the last few weeks. It was traveling through that very sensitive and deep sign. So Scorpio was helping us to dig deep and to understand our inner world, our inner dynamics. It was helping us to have a deeper understanding about ourselves and about love as well, because Venus is the planet of love. It is the planet of money as well. So it was helping us to understand our inner dynamics and how we function, for example, when it comes to love and when it comes to finances as well and relationships in general. And Sagittarius is a much lighter sign in that sense. It is much, much lighter for Venus. Venus is feeling more comfortable in the sign of Sagittarius. So that will kind of ease up the energies a little bit after that heavy energy of the eclipse season. So Venus and Sagittarius will be helping us to return to joy and lightness and love, and to create also a more balanced social life. So not only our love life, but in general, our relationship with others will feel much lighter, and probably our communication as well, because Mercury, it will be pushing us to communicate more clearly with our friends, with our social group, and with our romantic partners as well. And then on the November 19th, Mars retrograde will be squaring Neptune. And Neptune is the planet of illusions, imagination, is a very spiritual planet. It is the planet of dreams. And Mars will be retrograde until January 2023. And then this Neptune square with this Mars retrograde will be creating some stagnant energy that will make us to feel a little bit foggy in this period. And then also it will make us to feel confused about how to move forward. So it's almost like the fog, that there's nothing wrong with it, but we will move a little bit slower because we don't see the way forward, only one step at a time. So it will make us to slow down and take our time when we have to make important decisions, and to not rush into anything, because the path that is before us will start getting clearer, but only if we move slow. So it is important not to rush into anything, because Mars can give you that energy of wanting to rush into things, but because it's retrograde, yeah, it can be a little bit difficult to move forward. And then plus this Neptune thing, yeah, that is definitely bringing some illusions, and it will make us maybe to think about the worst case scenario sometimes, and instead of starting to create this apocalypse scenario in our head, we just have to pause and we have to slow down, because everything will get clear. Also, this influence of Neptune will try to make us to go within and then to listen to our hearts, to connect to our hearts and intuition. And instead of trying to rely on the intellect and making decisions out of our heads, it will force us a little bit to look within. And that is why it will cloud things. Okay, so Neptune will be like, you know what, you want to move forward too fast, you want to rush into things, you know what, so I'm gonna create this fog in front of you so you don't see the way forward. And now the only thing that you can do is to slow down and to meditate a little bit, and then to look within and to rely on your heart, because your vision will be clouded. You cannot rely on your 5 senses, you can only rely on your 6th sense. So that is what Neptune does. So if things are feeling unclear, then you have to connect to your heart, and you have to find answers there. And you have to also connect to your inner wisdom and intuition. That is the way forward. So we also have on the November 22 Sagittarius season starting. And as I said, like, this Sagittarius energy is much lighter than the Scorpio one. So we will feel a little bit of relief at this second part of November. And Sagittarius is all about the arrow. And the arrow is pointing in one direction. It is pointing toward our goals. It is the arrow of the archer. And that arrow moves with intention, making its way to the target. So Sagittarius season is reminding us about the journey, about our goals and visions. And it's also reminding us of the fact that We can have many goals and we can have many visions when it comes to our future. We can have things that we want to accomplish. But if our journey towards accomplishing our goals is miserable, and we feel miserable and we feel unfulfilled as we are getting there, as we are getting to the destination and what we want to achieve, then we might want to reconsider how we are approaching these goals, because it is not about the end result, it is about the journey and enjoying how we are getting there. So Sagittarius is inspiring us to connect to that wisdom and to find wisdom in the journey, but it's also making us question our motives and why we want to achieve certain things. And it will make us to adjust our approach when it comes to our journey. So it will definitely bring, because it's a fire sign, it will bring us wisdom. It will bring us some philosophical questions as well about our vision, our goals, our dreams. And it will give us that fiery inspiration as well. And we will understand that we don't have to focus that much on the end result, because the end result will unfold as we go forward, as we move. But we have to move with pleasure. Otherwise, we shoot ourselves in the foot. So Sagittarius is helping you not to shoot yourself in the foot, but to shoot the goal, to focus on the target, but in a way that the journey toward the target is pleasant and is enjoyable. And then on the November 23rd, we have a new moon in Sagittarius. And new moons are always new beginnings. It's a new cycle starting. It is new goals, new approaches. Thinking about the next chapter after this very heavy eclipse season. Thinking about how to do things differently. Maybe having a clearer mind about how to do things. It is bringing light energies, definitely, after eclipses stirring up our lives. So it will carry this beautiful light energy and relief, and it will be helping us with manifesting our goals, with being optimistic, with attracting abundance as well, and feeling this new inspiration and new fire energy, like, you know, I'm gonna do that and I feel super inspired and now I'm ready to create that kind of energy. And then on the November 23rd as well, we have Jupiter stationing direct. And Jupiter has been retrograde since July. And because Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, this energy will be felt. So it's a very powerful energy that will be felt. So this direct motion will be definitely felt by everyone. And it will spend a lot of time in Pisces from now on in the next 12 years. So those of you that have Pisces, Moon, Sun, or Rising, Jupiter can bring a very expansion, like energies of expansion and a lot of good luck. And there are some ancient astrologers that are saying that if you have Sun in Pisces, this can bring some very expanding energies. And you will be given an extra dose of good luck as well. Pisces is about spiritual powers. It is about intuition. It is about that inner wisdom as well. So Jupiter will expand those areas, both individually and then collectively as well. So it will be about a culmination of lessons, an expansion of our creativity, our connection to spirit, our spiritual connection, spiritual relationship with our higher selves as well. And it is a time, these next 12 years will be time of ancient wisdom returning to us collectively as well. Pisces rules over completion and the understanding of the whole. So it will be easier for us to see the full picture, to see the bigger picture, to connect the dots, to see beyond what is physical, to see the unseen world as well. And if not seeing it clairvoyantly, then receiving loads of upgrades and downloads, intuitive download about what is our next step. So that is what this Jupiter in Pisces can bring us, expansion when it comes to our psychic abilities as well. Also, Pisces is about heightened creativity. So it will heighten our intuition, our imagination, our visions. Projects dealing with fantasy, with alternate realities, with mysticism can take off. And if you have goals related to these areas or related to abundance and expansion that were very hard for you to achieve, then this Jupiter in Pisces will make it easier to achieve those things. So it will definitely bring expansion in areas of the unseen world, everything that has to do with Pisces. So the energy will be on your side in these areas, sending waves of support. So there are a few areas, things we may see manifesting during this time. And one of those areas is new spiritual movements, new philosophies developing in the next 12 years. We will see humanity having a growing interest in mysticism, in spirituality, in esoterica, the occult, the fantasy world. We will see these movements, many people waking up and showing interest in these areas. Innovation in film, in photography, in music as well. That is also an influence of Jupiter in Pisces, and definitely some new artists, some expansion in that area, a deeper interest in mental health, maybe innovation as well in mental health, a greater interest and acceptance of alternate realities as well, as I said, and alternative healing methods, acceptance of these spiritual methods as well. And then also Pisces is ruling mind-altering products and substances. So maybe research in these areas as well, research in mind-altering substances and mind-altering modalities, which can be a pro and a con as well. And if we think about technology and how it comes in picture with Pluto in Aquarius from next year, plus we have this influence of Jupiter in Pisces, technology can be a mind-altering modality, which we are seeing that they are pushing so much for. We have the Neuralink, we have some brain chips that they are planning to plant into people. So these two influences will be interconnected, and then there will be a great interest in that, unfortunately. So we have to remember that our spiritual powers are lying within us, and we can connect to those psychic abilities without using technology. So the downside of the interest in the unseen world is that we might be approaching that with technology, which is leading us to a degenerate path. Also, this influence can bring innovations when it comes to marine life, when it comes to the oceans, maybe research in that as well, because Pisces is a water sign, and we might be seeing a lot of activity as well in the next 12 years when it comes to water. So maybe a lot of water floodings, increased rainfalls, even tsunamis. So definitely things that are related to Pisces. And because the ruling planet of Pisces is Neptune, Neptune is the god of waters, so to speak. So yeah, these are the things that are happening in November, and there will be a lot of activity, I feel like, in the month of November. The first part especially will not be easy, and this is something that I got also in my readings. I did a reading about the divine masculine and feminine on my Patreon, and I got that there will be some upheavals as well, and especially in the financial area and relationships as well. Now let's just pull a few cards, maybe a few tarot cards, but I'm planning to do a reading on my other channel, Esoterica with Evelyn. I wanted to say that if you have not subscribed there, but you are interested in tarot readings and then collective readings as well, and readings by signs, then please subscribe there. So let's pull a few cards, and then I will do a collective reading over there, which will be much more detailed. Okay, so November spirit, what's happening in November collectively? November 2022. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands reversed. We have the Emperor upright. We have the Ten of Swords upright. We have the King of Swords reversed, and then we have Judgment upright. All right. Okay, so first of all, the Three of Wands reversed. So the Three of Wands reversed is talking about some plans when it comes to the future, but then also commerce and doing business with others. So there's a little bit of upheaval in that area, because The Three of Wands is always indicating a lack of ambition or a lack of goals or a lack of foresight when it comes to the future as well. So it can indicate delays and setbacks and a temporary feeling like maybe feeling burnt out because we have been burning the candle at both ends, not at both hands. And then we had the Emperor as well. That was upright. And that is telling me that November can be the month where on the one hand, we are feeling like we are not having clear ambitions or goals, or we are experiencing delays in areas. And because that Emperor energy is very much indicating the authorities and that authoritative power as well, maybe important institutions as well, and then governments as well. It can be a wake-up call for us the month of November that we have to think about ourselves and to rely on ourselves, because the Emperor is the strategic planner, is that masculine energy, having clear goals and ambitions. But the Three of Wands is the opposite of that, not having clear goals and ambitions. And this is telling us also with the Judgment that it will be a wake-up call for people to understand that they have to be the ones that are the leaders and the drivers of their own lives. And this keeps coming up. So this is a theme, the self-sufficiency that keeps coming up. So there's definitely something that will serve as a wake-up call in the month of November for many people, for the collective, because the Emperor might be taking advantage of its power. And then we have the King of Swords that was reversed as well. And the King of Swords reversed is a very tyrannical energy. It can get super tyrannical. It can be suspicious, distrustful as well. And the disruption that the King of Swords is representing can get revealed very easily and can get very evident for people. And because we have the Ten of Swords that is talking about backstabbing and hitting rock bottom, I feel like the wake-up call will be related to that. So the collective, in a sense, will be experiencing some rock bottom moments and some upheavals that will force them, and especially during this eclipse season. So that will be the effect of this eclipse. That will force people to be the ones responsible for their own lives, because we can no longer rely on unconscious leaders that are only having their own best interest as the number one goal, and everything else doesn't really matter for them. So we can no longer rely on a tyrannical government, on tyrannical institutions. We have to be in charge of our own lives, that kind of energy. And yeah, this is a very, very general reading, but based on these cards, there's definitely a wake-up call there. And the Judgment is also talking about a final decision and a spiritual awakening, in a sense. So the Judgment is the card of consciousness, is the card of awakening, of ascension, a change in consciousness, is a higher consciousness, higher level of consciousness, and higher understanding as well. So that can be that Jupiter in Pisces energy that will be happening on a collective level, because this is talking about the public as well. So we are talking about a big scale of awakening. And November will be a great start for that. And as I said, the next 12 years will be very significant in that. So there are big changes definitely that are happening in November as well. And first half might seem super dark. Loads of things coming up related to self-worth and worthiness. But then the second half will be much lighter. And we will have some clarity over where we are heading and where humanity is heading. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon that is upright, and that is talking about the subconscious level, the collective subconscious, the collective unconsciousness, the lies, the secrets, the mysteries, mysticism, things that are hidden. So things that are hidden in that subconscious level that will get revealed. And this total full moon, blood moon eclipse will be shedding light to those things and in those areas. And we are still in Scorpio season, so that is absolutely normal, because Scorpio is ruling secrets. It is ruling that subconscious level. So yeah, great things will get revealed to us, both collectively and individually as well. I feel like in November it will not be easy. but it is great to be alive at this time. So this is what I wanted to say in today's video. I hope it resonated. If it did, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my other channel as well, Esoterica with Evelyn. And then also, if you want to book a personal reading, you can do it now. You will find information about that down below in the description box. And then also, if you want to support my channel, please check out my Patreon, and you're more than welcome to join there. I'm posting updates and then also different readings, and then I'm doing podcasts as well about updates and things that are happening in our world and on a 3D level as well. And then those of you that are using Telegram, please feel free to join my Telegram as well, because I'm posting updates there as well now and then. So guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you an amazing November. Take care, and I cannot wait to see you next time.